Hey guys, it's Lucid. Welcome back. We are jumping back into our game with Nottheim. And we are playing Dominions All-Stars. So, you can see we summoned a bunch of Firebirds, and that is about all the spellcasting we did. In this section, we basically searched and found nothing, as is our way. Rig, of all people, got assassinated. Oh dear, I pity the assassin. I pity you, fool. And I actually took all the gear off Rig, because we were using Rig for other things. Or I needed the gear for somebody else, for Operation Get the Laggard. But you think Rig gives a fuck? You think Rig needs gear? Mm-mm. Rig gives literally 0 fucks. Now, if that was an air elemental, it actually might have been bad. I mean, not really. Rig would have been fine, but it would have been kind of close. 2 air elementals might have killed Rig. Okay, so here's the first of our attacks. Now, we've got a nice line of these guys, and we've got Ice Glaive, so we'll deal with the second form pretty well. Our protection's not great, but it's okay. Yeah, and then on this side, they've got these guys who have javelins, which do a fair amount of damage, and then Nodachis, which hit like fucking trucks. So those Nodachis actually can kind of one-hit kill us. And there's pretty high density of quality Oni here. So we'll see how this goes. Who is your money on right now? Who do you think is gonna win? I know the answer, I've seen it. Okay. Crossbows coming in, doing some damage. Now, in their second form, they have a phantasmal weapon, which is MR negates. So having anti-magic is actually going to be pretty important for fighting these guys, because you're going to significantly reduce the second damage, but you can see these guys are just chopping. Watch this guy, like they just get 1 hit. So that they are not, I mean, they might as well be made of paper for these Oni. Also of note, they are Chaos Power +3. There's a shit ton of turmoil, I think, in this province, and then it's also probably, there's a shit ton of unrest, and then it's also Turmoil 3. So their stats are crazy. Now the crossbows here are doing some work. Got a little bit of banishment coming down. Now the banishment, as you can see, it will kill their second form. It will not kill the demons, but it will kill their second form because their second form is undead. And this banishment, as it turns out, is going to be kind of clutch. Okay, we've actually caused a rout now. But we've lost all of our Ice Guard, basically. And every little one of these guys who makes it off is actually going to live. So here, you know, this wasn't actually a good trade. He's probably like, all right. I mean, none of this cost him gold except for the temple. But I mean, these obviously have value. So, but we didn't actually kill that much of the high quality stuff. Not much at all. They just mostly retreated. Now, some of the retreating stuff is going to die, but yeah. Now, we have a battle here in Latia, which I don't think is anything. It's a thug coming in to kill PD. So this is the Pompeii resistance movement. And, dude, Pompeii is playing like a boss. He got down to just like his capital and a couple provinces, and he is fighting to get what is his back. Now, unfortunately, he is also going to have to fight our Fadod player, who has a nasty Hellbless. Okay, on this side we have a Turkey, who I did not name, and we have Sudanlace, or I can never say your name, Sudanlace. And yeah. Who do you think is going to win here? Now the thing to appreciate is that these guys are size 1. And so their attack density is actually very high, and they hit pretty fucking hard. Like 16 is not bad. And then there's behind them these guys, but there's none of the really big ones. We also do have resist fire, so. Unfortunately, we have Body Ethereal, which really helps here. Reduces the incoming damage. Breath of Winter actually would probably be kind of clutch here. We got an Affliction, we got Battle Fright. But you can see these guys are much more efficient, actually, at killing stuff than a bunch of Ice Guard. Okay, we got a lot of hits in a row there. What's interesting, actually, is in their second form, because they have magic damage, it's actually going to go through Ethereal, which is kind of interesting, because we actually end up taking more damage when most of them were in their second form. Ooh, you can run, but you cannot hide. Pseudonylice is after you. So that was pretty effective. We killed most of them, 2/3. And the rest ran like little bitches. And we got their temples, because there's a lot of Dom pressure coming out, and if we raid them and kill their temples, well, that's one less thing to worry about. Now, in my spirit of shadowboxing and assuming kind of the worst thing that can happen to my werewolves is that an air-empowered air-random tyrant jumps out of my rice bowl and kills me, and that will not make me very happy. So we'll talk about what we're gonna do with that, but that's kind of the worst case, because Tyrants can kill werewolves. Let's just put that out there, all right? They hit really hard. If they're kitted appropriately, you could definitely, without a doubt, have them kill a bunch of my guys. Okay, and here we have the lone werewolf, no turkey fluffer, but it's Tajits. And he is going to run in here and stir things up. Got some Anakites, though. Now, Anakites, did they get blessed? They got the bless. So the bless is Blood Bond and Fortitude, which Fortitude's good. It's also good, pretty good versus werewolves, and we're getting hit pretty hard, but not enough, I don't think. And these guys are not cheap. I think they're like, what? At least 80. I feel like they're more like 100 gold, but that may be wrong. They're probably, I don't know. We'll look. I can't remember. I'm not really an Anakite person. Seshai Anakites, 130. Yeah, okay, they're expensive. So yeah, that was a fair amount of money we dropped there, or that we stole, killed, and we got a. Oh, maybe there wasn't a temple in that province, and then down here. We attacked. Got a little Dryad here. Dryad doing Dryad things, like leading undead. Okay, and then they run. And finally, we have a battle here in Cern. And it is an angry pile of Anakites versus Debug Sensei. I'm just kidding. Versus Imperial Jam answers. Oh, did they not fluff them? Well, that's too bad. Oh, I guess it was this? I guess it was just the Griffin. The rider wasn't on it. Yeah. So you couldn't script it. But you can see he tried to fluff it. But, well, what he should have done, and not like it's going to matter a ton, is he should have done turn one. He should have, this is what you should have done. And I don't think it would have changed anything, but if you're trying to do this and you're watching, you put an Earth Gem on them, you do Iron Warriors with one, you have the other one do Body Ethereal, and you have the other one do, like, Luck or Twist Fate or something. That's what they do turn one, and then turn two they go into a Communion. And then there's a chance that that guy will be tough enough and live long enough that you could drop meteors on top of him, which I assume is possible with Summoner Power and Power of the Spheres and 2 Communion Slaves. Seems possible. Whether that guy could survive long enough to have a few meteors dropped, highly uncertain. But interestingly, this exchange was between these guys, the Alliance, and between Phaedon. Okay, and I think that is it for the battles. For the events, we had additional PD, nice. We got unexpectedly attacked by knights, which actually turns out to be annoying. We'll go ahead and watch that, because it kills a bunch of my undead. Knights are pretty good, but we've got a big swarm of undead here, which is kind of fortunate, but also kind of meh. Because these knights, you can see they're chewing through them. We eventually killed them, and they run, but not before damage was done. We lost 45. So anyway, that was annoying. Thank you, luck. We got a good event, which doesn't fucking matter. We got another good event, which barely matters. But I mean, it's something. It's like 10 gems. That's okay, this is something. And this was in Nottheim. And so all these ones in Nottheim, we've got 3 in Nottheim, and... But, like, this is a good event, quote-unquote, but it's shitty, because we lost population, and we got resources. Well, I don't need resources. Give me my population back. Dicks. So anyway, luck is not terribly on our side this time. 1 disease was cured, and 1 affliction was cured. So I will now explain the plan that I've come up with. And actually, before we go on, I was a little kind of tilty, I think, when I went and did my little addendum recording for last turn, because I'm like, you know. Thing is, I just want to say, just in summary of the last episode, you absolutely can take the full turn timer every single turn and submit it at the last minute in every game. And you can be turn bullied a little bit, but you know, like, at some point people kind of need to fuck off. You can do it. You're playing by the rules. But it's pretty bad etiquette, in my opinion. And whether it is or not, you will not be publicly harassed by me, but if you do that every single turn in a game, there's a good chance that not just me, but a lot of other players are going to be like, let's just kill him. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Now, there, as you can see, as we have kind of invaded over this way, we have seen more things, lots of demons. And we have also seen a bunch of hordes of Helot warriors. And there's going to be some Helot warriors over here. And yeah, that's basically what's going on. These guys are probably poor shit. They probably have shitty research. 1 second. Sorry, the chicken squawk alert went off. I had to go check. Yeah, so their research is probably going to be shit. Like, significantly more shit than mine. And they've just got huge swaths of troops. Well... the human troops we can kill with darkness. Or solar eclipse. We can kill probably any of them with properly kitted werewolves. We've got Dryads to fuck with their commanders, maybe steal a tyrant or 2. Yeah. We're not gonna go in. I think there's enough stuff over here that it's not like just stomp, stomp, stomp and go in. But we are gonna wreck their shit, I think. But we're gonna do a tactical retreat first. So we're gonna pull a bunch of guys here. We're gonna form a real army. I'm pulling a bunch of mages. I've got a Royal Navigator who is going to do Grip of Winter and that sort of thing. We're gonna march here. We're Grip of Wintering that this turn, I believe. Where are you? Yeah, this guy is doing Wolf in Winter on 142. This will make this a little bit cold, and that will mean if we have a battle there next turn, not this coming turn, next turn. If there is a battle next turn, then yeah, we can do Grip of Winter and all of that sort of jazz. We're gonna have Flaming Arrows. I've got a... I don't actually have a... You know, we could, in theory, pull one of these. Do I have a... I don't have any boots. I don't think they can make it. Yeah, they can't. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I'm making, because I can't get anybody there like a fire mage, we're just gonna have a slave matrix I'm making for this guy. I forgot who exactly is making it, but somebody is. That will give me access to Firefend. I'm sorry, to Flaming Arrows. Which will be pretty sick. We also are going to be dropping... Actually, yeah, I don't think we need Frostfend or anything. Yeah. So, anyway, we've got a bunch of shit we're going to be dropping. Arrowfend. What's all the stuff we're going to do? We've got Arrowfend coming out. We're going to have Grip of Winter. We are going to have... May have Relief. Don't know. Foul Vapors, probably not. Though we certainly could. I don't think we will. Yeah. What else? You know what would be hilarious? Is do... I think one of these is a nature random. I can't remember which one of my werewolves is a nature random. We'll have to find out. One of them is a nature random. I don't think it's this guy. He's a death random. But, yeah, one of these guys is a nature random. We could potentially do, like, put a Thistle Mace on him, have him do Foul Vapors, go into werewolf form. Because he's not going to be able to cast it, I don't think. And in werewolf form, he'll have to cast it, then go into werewolf form. But that would be hilarious. And then they would have to kill him, and I could fluff him and stuff, and make him go berserk. Before Foul Vapors killed their whole army. If he thinks he's going to hidey hole up in there, that's probably what we're going to do. Just surprise, motherfucker. Yeah, so anyway, we have all sorts of ridiculously stupid fun tricks we can do. We're probably going to need to drop more Woven Winters as time goes on. Being the summer doesn't really help. It's going to be high summer next turn, which means this will probably just be neutral temperature scales. Which is fine. We don't really have a ton of Ice Guard. We're moving all of our troops out of this fort too over here. I probably should get more troops. You know, speaking of which. I think we're tapping this fort out. We don't make troops in that fort. We can make some troops here, though. I kind of do want to have a little bit of an intimidation force for these guys. I don't think they're going to attack me because they're pretty committed into a war, and I'm certainly not going to be easy food. Now, we have a couple traps. So because we're evacuating, we're leaving a Dryad. And the Dryad is equipped with a bottle of water and a handful of acorns and a few nature gems, aka a hate kit. Yes, Dryads are not allowed at speaking. They're not allowed to speak at public universities because, you know, of hate speech and indecency and all of that. This is a hate speech kit, and it's going to make hate speech come out of anybody's mouth that gets assassinated, because it's going to be extremely tilting. I do not know if it can take a tyrant. If a tyrant shows up, I'm going to have to test it. Basically, anything else that shows up, it's going to die. But I'm bringing in some water gems on this guy so that I at least have some options with things I can cast. So potentially, yeah. You know, I could potentially do a slow, which is going to slow the tyrant down, which is going to matter if he's fighting golems. I mean, you know, water elementals. The other thing I can do is I can do a small water elemental here. And it could be that big water elemental swarm, small water elemental swarm is the best combo. Or maybe it's like big water elemental swarm, then slow, then small water elemental, then another swarm. Yeah, who knows? Who freaking knows? But either way, we're going to try. The other thing is we're going to have an Eagle King on deck. And I've got a double strategy here. So if you are hidden in a province and you come out and attack it that same turn, it will occur during the normal movement phase. But if you also magic phase the province that you're on, then you will come out in magic phase. So even if the army retreats, you will catch it. So we're setting a trap here. We're putting a... this is a Scrotty. This is a scout with the Scrotty's gear on it. They are going to go hide in the... This is going to be the combo that I'm going to use. And this is a combo you can use in Niflheim games, in Jotunheim games. This is a combo that works pretty much regardless. So these guys are going to go hang out over here. The Eagle King that comes out here, because we can't use Imperialists, the Eagle King that comes out here is going to Cloud Trapeze. Let's make sure I have that researched, which I do. He is going to Cloud Trapeze on top of this. Presumably, I mean, it's going to depend obviously on what's here. Once he shows, he can do Iron Skin. He can do Iron Skin. He can do Gift of Flight if he wants. I'm sorry, if he wants to. He can do Quickness. There's a bunch of different fluffy things he can do to potentially kill whoever shows up here. Because he's going to be putting it on this Scrotty. And then he can summon an air elemental and or he can just peace out right after that. The thing I wanted to have, but I didn't, so we're going to have to roll the dice. What I wanted... Did I just see... Oh shit, he's here. Okay. I was looking... I thought I looked, and I did. I was looking for an Astral 3 that was in a lab so I could make a Ring of Returning for an Eagle King. Because if you do Mist Form, it's actually very, very safe. You have to basically get Soul Slayed if you have Mist Form and a Ring of Returning. And then I don't have to roll the dice and see if he'll fail a retreat check. I don't have... I don't have any Astral boosters, so... What are you doing? You actually should move somewhere. You're gonna haul ass up this way. So anyway, we're going to push into these guys because, you know, and I'll just show you because we're in the game right now. They are, as has been literally... There's a few players who are, I guess, known for this. I think I should just avoid games that they're in, but... Because it's... I don't know. It's... like, in the game, I've tried to be really positive, so it's kind of weird that I'm, like, trying to be positive in the game, but I'm not really trying to be... I mean, I haven't said much about it on YouTube until now, when I've, like, have to explain to you why I'm attacking them. But... anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's right now, and this is the player, and you can see there's 5 hours left. These people will probably finish at, like, 3 hours. They're on holiday, though, or, like, on a business trip. So, like, they can't do their turn on time. But this player is, without a doubt, going to do it at the last minute. Yeah. It really does slow the game down a lot. Because you don't realize it, but, like, the time adds up, too. Like, if people finish, like, even just 3 hours on the clock, and it's, like, if it's different people and they're just trying to get their turns done whenever they can, and it's like, you have the full time, but, like, if you can, you try to do it earlier, like, whenever you have the time. Not like it's urgent, but, you know, like, you're sitting down, you're like, okay, we'll go ahead and get it done. You're not planning on waiting till the very last minute. What will tend to happen is, once the game goes on, it gets around turn 30, it'll tend to go close to the timer, but it's not going to go at, like, the very hour of the timer every single time. And you'll end up saving, you know, over the course of, like, 6 turns, you'll probably save 2 hours or 3 hours a turn, because a lot of times it doesn't. And then before you know it, you know, you're getting, like, an extra turn in a week. Which, anyway. And the other thing is, it just, I think people have more fun when it's faster. I certainly do. Maybe I'm just trying to rationalize being a little spiteful here, because that's definitely possible too. The Scrotty that we have, I'm worried about them getting Cloud Trapezed on. Now, he in no way has shown signs of Cloud Trapezing tyrants. Normally I wouldn't have to do this where I do retreat. The only way the retreat order is going to actually proc is if there's a magic phase attack on them. And if there's a magic phase attack, I'm going to assume it's something pretty fucking bad. So we're going to have them get the fuck out of Dodge. Ideally, they're going to have a scout that will accompany them. So we're getting scouts for round 2. And they will run out and kill some shit. But very possibly, it's not going to be next turn, it'll be the turn after, and we might even hit pretty far in their back lines. One thing I do want to do, and I don't know where I put... Where the fuck did I put my... Where is my stone window, or whatever it's called? Is it in my inventory? It is, okay. So what I want to do is we're going to have you... And you are going to cast spell Astral Window. I want to see what's back here, because this is going to be some good raiding territory. Scout may get afflicted. Is it worth it? Let's go ahead and let's put it on somebody else. We can probably find somebody else. Highly likely he patrols here too, which means the scout will probably get caught. Very likely will die. Do I have any other commander type? Okay, we'll have him do it. Instead of patrol, I'm not really worried about scouts coming through here. The other thing we're doing is we're moving in another Dryad here, and she's got a very similar kit to the one before. I don't think... Do I have... Okay, yeah. I'm out. I'm fresh out of handful of acorns, and we're probably not going to make a ton more. They're kind of... I think they get a little outshadowed by other stuff you can do. But... yeah, I think this will be good. I think, and maybe, you know, honestly, I'm not even sure. It may be slow is better. We'll have to try and see how good slow is. Slow may be really good. Reducing the amount of attacks they have, if it really does cut it in half, and it lowers their attack and defense, like that would be pretty huge. Pretty huge. Okay, and this Dryad is going to march over here and take this from these guys, because they're not allowed to have anything. In terms of the sites we got a fire and a water site. Here we got a Garden of Bones. Here we got a Pool of Sanctity, so I do need to be careful about moving undead onto this province. And then we got an arena. Here there's a gold mine, which doesn't really do much because there's a shit ton of unrest. And here there's just the laboratory. So yeah. Anyway. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm not, things I'm worried about. Let's go pull it up. We'll talk about it again, even though we talked about it a little bit ad nauseum. We're worried about air randoms, cloud trapezing, or just these guys in general. We're a little worried about skelly spam communions, but honestly, these guys are going to have such shit income that even if they took all their occultists, they're not going to be able to match one of my communions for skelly spam, I don't think. So I'm not terribly worried about that. They can plug important things onto communions with either Sabbaths or... Wait. I don't know what they're for. They can plug air onto communions, right? I guess this guy could, in theory, get air. But, I mean, they're not going to have research to do anything, I doubt. The ninjas... Okay, we actually do need these guys on guard commander. In theory, he could ninja me. So we need to start practicing ninja guards. And I think that is about it. I'm not really that worried. I mean, hordes of chaff, like, I know how to deal with. Though apparently I underestimated the strength of some of the better Oni. And I don't have some of the things that are going to make me really, really good against, like, demons. Like, the real Oni Chaff, I don't really have anything that's a terribly hard counter. Like, Grip of Winter will be okay. It's not going to be great. The only thing that's going to be pretty good is my Thaumaturgs are going to be able to spam out very high-powered banishment. And that will just take care of any of their second forms. And then they don't have much armor, so my skeletons are going to hit for a shit ton. And while they're going to have pretty good defense, I'm going to have probably the numbers on them, and I'm going to have pretty high attack from Power of the Sepulchre. And if he mixes in human troops, then I think that will actually be maybe to my advantage, because these guys are going to be so low damage output due to darkness. Well, not darkness, but whatchamacallit, a solar eclipse, that it's actually just going to slow down the rate at which they're killing my front line. And what that will mean is all the archers that I'm going to have, which will be a substantial amount, it'll be at least 100, are going to just pummel him with, let's check supplies real quick. 44, 25. Yeah, we should be okay. And then 76. Yeah, we'll be fine. So anyway, the plan next turn is he moves something here, ideally the whole army. We then either, we can sneak attack out of here, right? So I think that works. I'll actually have to test. I don't know if he takes it and I've got a hidden guy in that province and I move to another province. I think the battle will occur here, not here, unless I magic phase. If I magic phase, it'll occur here. I think that's how it works, but I'll have to test. But the people coming here will either attack here or here. We'll probably have a seduction. And then I'm going to have a big army, which is going to roll up over this way. And we've got major reinforcements coming in here too. So that's basically it. And I'm just going to be able to keep cranking these out. The thing that would be very, very nice to have, that of course I don't have, is, and I don't even know if mass flight is terribly good here. But anyway, we're halfway done, so we're going to go ahead and get it. It'll definitely be good if I need to go inside a fort, and I want to fly my way in there. But really, see, Alt 7's actually not that. Alt 7's going to give me Fog Warriors, and Fog Warriors is really good. But the mass protection isn't super good, and the darkness is also at Alt 7. That's going to be good. So we've got a few things which are pretty damn good that are queued up. Research has taken a bit of a hit, and we'll close out just looking at score graphs again. Provinces, you can see, went up. This is start of a new war. Forts, you can see the forts are a little stable. Income had a nice little jump there as we went to war. Gym income, looking okay. Research hasn't been inflecting much. We're kind of just, this has been kind of straight. Like here you can see there was a lot of inflection. But yeah, we haven't been increasing too much lately. Dominion, you can see it's been going up, and then here it's started to inflect down a little. And I think we've kind of begun to, you'll see it start to inflect down. I think this is just a little bad RNG, and it'll probably go up a little bit. But I think our period of like crazy growth of Dominion is probably gone. Army size, continuing to grow, though of course we'll have a big battle. But like we lost a bunch of troops, you can't even tell. It's just washed down the noise of undead production. And we're going to be, I think, not out of the business of Ice Guard, but a little bit. Little bit. So anyway, I think that's it. Basenji, you got a pass this time. You were gonna get yoinked, but anyway, we have decided to push up this way, for better or for worse. And this, I don't know if this will trigger vulture instincts from Therados, but we'll see. All right, thanks guys. See you next time.